Iran's Revolutionary Guard says the country is now able to, quote, monitor the world from space after successfully launching its first military satellite into orbit. The US has accused Iran in the past of using its space program as a cover for missile development, allegations Iran denies. President Donald Trump in Washington, while not addressing the launch directly, did tweet a warning about Iran harassing American ships at sea. Here's what the head of the Revolutionary Guard said about the launch.
It is a necessity for such powerful defense forces like the Revolutionary Guard to have access to advanced capabilities. Today, the powerful armies of the world have no comprehensive defense plan if they don't have a place in space. Today, we can monitor the world from space, and it means boosting strategic data for the IRGC. Putting the satellite into orbit gives us a technological advantage and is also a powerful asset in the intelligence war.
Well, Iran has spent a decade trying to improve its rocket technology. It fired its first successful satellite into orbit in 2009. But in recent months, it's had several failed launches, the latest coming in February when Iran failed to put its Zafar-1 communications satellite into orbit. And last year, it had 3 failures, including a rocket explosion in August. The United States called those actions provocative. However, Iran has maintained that its satellite program did not have a military component. Our White House correspondent Kimberly Halkett is monitoring reaction for us out of Washington this hour. But first, live to Zain Basravi, who joins us from Tehran. So, Zain, this satellite, what can it do?
Well, what we know is what we've heard from the military. Really, this came as a surprise, not just to the rest of the world, but to Iranians as well. They awoke to what is effectively the news of a successful secret operation carried out by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps from a desert location in the central desert area of Iran. They heard that this morning that this rocket was launched into space. The satellite, named Nour for light, is now 425 kilometers above us, orbiting Earth. And we heard it straight from the head of the IRGC himself. This is for military purposes and is likely to be used for intelligence gathering, for military reconnaissance, for navigation and movements of military assets on the ground. All the things that leaders need to do to support their assets on Earth from an eye in the sky in space. So any questions there may have been about whether or not this satellite had military capability or not, the head of the IRGC, as well as the head of the Aerospace Division, has made clear that these are advances in military technology and will be used for military purposes.
Zain, thanks very much. Let's go to Kimberly Halkett, our White House correspondent. Kimberly, good afternoon, good morning. So this must be piquing interest and raising eyebrows at the State Department and also the building behind you.
Yes, no official reaction from the State Department just yet, but we can tell you, of course, you've already reported the U.S. president's tweet. This, of course, is following the reports of the launch of that satellite and then sort of a warning by the U.S. president to Iran earlier this month, where he had said that he thought that Iran was trying to plan a sneak attack, as he called it, against U.S. troops or assets. And he warned that there would be a heavy price paid if that happens. Now, the U.S. sees the launch of this satellite as an advancement of its missile program. And we know that the tensions between these two sides have been ratcheting up for months, even as the president had said that he had restored deterrence following the drone killing of General Soleimani. Now, the U.S. in recent weeks has accused Iran of harassing the U.S. ships, Navy ships in the Persian Gulf. They were conducting a drill outside of Kuwait, and they said that Iran's fast boats, as they're called, pointed a machine gun at one point and were brushing up very close against the United States ships. What this is a country, the United States, grappling with dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. Of course, there's been widespread reporting of the USS Roosevelt, of course, that's off of Guam, that has been hit with an outbreak of coronavirus on that ship. The question becomes in the United States whether or not Iran is seizing this, looking upon the U.S. as having a bit of a vulnerability right now. It shows you, even in the midst of this pandemic, these military rivalries continue.